Okay, for today's Techno class, we're going to be teaching you how to use Microsoft Word, and in that we're specifically going to be focusing on just some basic desktop publishing skills. So I know a lot of students will have used Word in the past, but I want to just show you a couple of things and a couple of tricks to help you lay things out so that they look a little bit more professional and will really help you work from there. One of the first things I wanted to show you was that you could change your view between a whole page, which allows me to see everything there, and to then skip and go to the page width. I like using page width when I'm doing some typing, but when I'm trying to do layout, I think it's a very handy way to do it there. So today, just for some getting access to some files very easily, I'm going to go to some text specifically. I'm going to use a thing called Lorem Ipsum, which is some Latin, and it just gives us a whole lot of text, and it will generate it for us so that we can fill it up. You may have seen this before. So what I'm going to do is I would like 5 paragraphs of Lorem Ipsum, please. And so it's just got some general writing, which I can now use in my assignment. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come across here, and I'm going to paste that out. So here's some text on my page. Obviously, I can now choose to, let's go to page width zoom. I can select all the text, and then I can change the font size. I can change it to be a different type of font, and I can play with formatting and work like that. Now what I would like to now do is actually add a heading to the page. I could do that a number of ways. I could just simply go in and go, this is my Lorem Ipsum assignment, and then I could highlight that, and most versions of Word have some built-in style. So I could go heading 1, no, I don't like that. I could go heading to the title, and that could be a good way for me to title my page, and I think that's probably not a bad way. The other particular way that I could do it is I could go to Insert, and I could also use an option here for word art. And so because I had it highlighted already, it changed it there, but then I should be able to right click on the object, and I should then be able to format my shape and be able to change a number of things about it. Firstly, I can change its sizing, its layout, and so instead of it being square, I might want it to be tight. Click there. No major changes for this one, but it does change it the way a little bit. If I now go up to, actually we'll do it for a right click, format shape. In this case I probably want to do it in line with text so that it has its own line there. And then I can actually change the word art options here to a number of different ones, or potentially I could come up with my own. So that's a handy thing to do there. Let's show you a couple other things quickly. There is certainly an option to add some smart art. And smart art can be very handy when we need to set up something which has a particular type of relationship. So here we've got one which has already been set up for cycles. And I can come here and it will automatically have a lot of things set up for me. So text 1, I might be, we're going to just define what it is we want to achieve. And then the next thing we might do is we might come up with a plan. We'll actually execute the plan. We would then evaluate how we went. Put an E, and then I might actually see if I can get rid of that one. So I just have my 4, and there I have a very nice little diagram which explains the process of something that we were going to do. I can then scale that, but then I could also right click on it and go to format shape, and in its layout, instead of it being square, I could set it being in line. I could do that, and I probably would like my diagram to be on the right hand side. Move it down just a little bit and set it up like that, and that can be a very handy thing that we could do. It looks a little bit strange because the text isn't coming right near it because it's set to square. You could obviously play with a few other things in that. There's some charts that you could use to put in some information here. That can be a very handy thing as well. One of the most common things that we quite often get asked how to do is how do I put a border on the page. So go to Format, go down to Borders and Shading, and I can put a page border on, which could be one of these predefined styles, and I could say go off that, and there I have a border around there, and that's based off where the text is. If instead I want one which is based on applies to whole document, color automatic, custom, set up for like that, I could come in here and press my options and move the margins in and out so that actually it's further away, and then we can play with a few different ones. So instead of having a line, we could actually have some graphics, although I'm not always sure whether we really want that on some of our assignments. The ability to put a picture in, I've got a number of ways I could do that. I could simply just go to Insert Photo, realizing that there's clip art, but I also could just jump back to here and I might go to Google, do a search for a dog, have a look at images. Never just click on here because these are just little previews. I'll click on that one. Always go to view the original image. In this case that's rather small. I might just try for one that's a little bit bigger. View the original image. So see that we've got that there now. What I can do is I can now drag and drop that to my assignment. In this case it doesn't want to do that. I think it's because it's in the zoom. So we can go copy image, click over here and go edit and paste, and there's our picture. I'm not sure why I wasn't allowed to do that with drag and drop the first go, but I also could choose to put that image behind all the text. So let's go to Format Picture. I'm going to go behind text, click OK, and I'm going to set that up in a sense as a background to my whole assignment. Now I think it's not going to be very easy to read, but you can see how that concept could work. And quite often what I've done with that in the past is I've formatted the picture and I recolor it so it's a lighter version and it just sort of sits in the background. Now there's some of the worst decisions I've ever made in putting a word processing document together, but hopefully that shows you the skills of how to put borders, how to put some smart out, to bring in a photo, to be able to put different text on the screen and to be able to format it. The task for this techno is to be able to create a similar piece of work which probably looks a bit better than this preferably, but uses all those skills. Being able to put text in, change the fonts, bolds, put some headings in, a border, a picture, and some smart art. And that needs to be printed out and handed to me, Mr. Collins. Alright, hopefully you have learnt something new today.